Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you to my subscribers and welcome to the newcomers. Thank you so much for being here, and for everybody that's made their beautiful comments on the groups. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys, all of yous. For the newcomers, if you are subscribing, I hope you like what you see. Don't forget to hit that bell notification. It's important to keep up with the new uploads that I do. Also, for the people that are a little bit more slow on creating your pieces, there's no need to stress if I'm too fast for you. Up top, there's 3 little buttons. Just click there and it tells you to slow down the video so you can slow down to the speed you would like. Also, I'd like to mention thank you for your questions, suggestions, and advices. Thank you so much, everyone. And for the people that are still curious or stuck with some of the patterns, please don't hesitate to comment or email me. I am here to answer you. If I don't answer you right away, it's because of the time frame of countries, but I do get back to you. Okay, so I wanted to create a small, not big. I don't know the size yet, depending up, of course, on the stitch, how loose or tight we go about. A little rug for the living room, small little round, actually mine is square little table. So I wanted to put a little rug right underneath, and I'm going to do a round one. So I'm using, this is 1 kilo combs, which of course I have less than that already because I've used quite a bit of it. But this is an 8 ply. What do I mean by an 8 ply? Sometimes people ask me about it. 8 ply is having 8 strings together. So it's pretty thick. It's perfect for rugs, any type of rugs for that matter. I will leave it on the description box, the information of these threads. These are 100% cotton thread, so just let you know. And to mention also, when you're creating with such thickness of thread, it becomes very heavy, so it's not necessary to put a back into these rugs. So you don't slip. But if you're creating a wool or any other type of yarn, you will have to buy a back part to stick on to your rug. You don't want to slip and break your hips. So that's very important to keep note of that. So I'll be using needle. You can use 550. 5.5, or you can use the 6 because this is pretty thick. So I have the 5.5 and I have the 6, and of course I'll alternate because sometimes I have a habit of very tightening up my stitch. So if I don't want to over tighten it, the secret is always to use a thicker one. Okay, so you will also need scissors, of course, and a smaller probably needle to tuck in loose ends if you're changing colors on yours. I don't know yet at this point what I am going to do with it, if I'm going to change colors or not. I'll see as I go, because I do still have a few cones left of 8 ply and I want to put it to use, so I might as well use it. And since my living room has burgundy and light beige, caramel sort of thing, so I might use the other 2 cones that I have of gold and burgundy together. Not sure at this point, but at the end I will let you know the size it became, and we are going to get started. Thank you so much, everybody, and please don't forget to hit that thumbs up on the video. It's important to circulate the video. And for the newcomers, I hope you do subscribe and help me grow the channel and be part of this journey with me and the rest of all of us that are already in it. Thank you so much, everybody, from the bottom of my heart. Okay, so we're going to get started. So the first thing we're going to do is the magic circle, which you would roll once and you'd put right over where you rolled. You'd come in and pull it. Fix your thread, whatever you're using, and just pull on it a bit, not by much though. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do 12 single crochets in here. Okay, so very simple. Now I might have to always go to 2, or depending on the size of this rug, 3 videos, because this app takes too much memory on my phone and doesn't allow me to exceed more than, I think, 46 or 47 minutes. So I have to always go to part 2 and 3. That's a bummer, but it's better this way, and at least you get the full screen, which before the other app I had, it was a very tiny screen, so it was very difficult for you guys to see. Okay, so do your 12 single crochets, and we're going to close it in with slip stitch at the end. So I pretty much did my 12. I'm just going to pull on the string here and close up my circle as much as I possibly can. I'm going to go into the first stitch here and slip stitch. Okay, so now we're going to go chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Next space, so we're going to have 12 double crochets, separation of 2 chain. 1, 2, next space, so we don't skip any spaces. We started row 1 with 12 singles, and now we're going to do row 2 with 12 double crochet. Now, of course, this is an 8 thread, and sometimes the needle doesn't grab all the threads properly, so I always have to go back and grab them. So I'll meet you at the end. Coming to the end, once you have your 12, we're going to close it in on the 3rd space. So we are finishing. We do 2 chain, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3 on the 3rd space. Make sure you grab both loops together, because this is a rug and it becomes very heavy. If you grab only one loop, not good for the thread or the yarn, whatever you're using at this point. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we have 12. So row 3, because row 1 would be the singles. Row 2 with a double crochet. So we're going to go up chain 3 again. This will equal a double crochet. We're going to come in the center of the square, and we're going to do another double crochet. So now we're going to have 2. Chain 2 on top of the double crochet. Again, double crochet in the center, another double crochet. So this row is going to be exactly the same way all the way around. 2 chain separation on top of double crochet from the previous row and into the center with double crochet. And then we're going to come to the end, and we're going to close it on 3rd space with a slip stitch. So we did our 2 chain separation. We're going to do 1, 2 on the 3rd space. We're going to close it in with slip stitch. Now we are going to walk, I call it the walk, to the next space, double crochet with slip stitch, like that. We're going to go chain 3 up, equals a double crochet inside of the space. We're going to create 2 double crochet. Good heavens, that's what happens when you work with 8 strings. It's a little bit tricky to get all of them through the needle, but once you get used to it, it's like nothing. So 2 chain separation on the 2nd double crochet from the previous row, 1 double crochet and 2 inside of the space. So we are extending, increasing, 2 chain separation and we're going to do this all the way around the same way. So double crochet on the second double crochet and 2 inside of the little square here. So you're going to have a total of 3. So we started with 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to keep going up. I'll meet you at the end. So we're getting to the end. Chain 2. We're going to close it on 1, 2 on the third space. Of course, my stitch is always extremely tight, so with a slip stitch. So now we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, row 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to slip stitch through the second double crochet, and we're going to slip stitch again to the last one. Chain 3 will equal a double crochet. We're going to do 3 inside of the square, 3 double crochet. So we're going to have a total of 4 now, and 2 chain separation. So we closed in with slip stitch, we walked over to the next one with slip stitch, and into the third one we went up chain 3. So 2 chain separation again. Now we're going to skip first, second on the third one, double crochet inside of the square, 3 double crochet. So we're going to have a total of 4. And it's going to be the same way all the way around with 2 chain separation. And always skipping the first 2 up front. So I'll meet you at the end. We're going to close it in with slip stitch on the third space. So we finished doing row 5. We've closed in on third space with the slip stitch. We're going to walk through the next one with the slip stitch. So we're always going to skip 2 now. We're not going to work these 2. On the third double crochet, we are going to do a double crochet. So on the third one, we're going to go up chain 3, next space double crochet. Okay, so we're always going to, throughout the rest of the pattern, 1, 2, we don't do. On the third one, we close in with slip stitch, we go up chain 3. Inside of here, we're going to do 3 double crochets. So we are increasing our double crochets. Now we're going to have a total of 5. So 2, 3, 4, and 5. Always 2 chain separations. Skip the first, the second. On your third one, we're going to do a double crochet. So very simple, people, nothing to it. This is the same way as the tablecloth that I did rubying. So it's like a spiral, if you want to call it that way. So 1, 2 on the third one. Another thing that I want to mention, with this pattern, you don't necessarily have to turn it into a rug. I'm doing it into a rug because I need a little round one for that table in the living room. But you can use a thinner thread and turn it into a round tablecloth for a small table or whatever size you would like. You just have to keep extending on here, the rows, so you can have the size you prefer to have for your table. So just an idea for some of you that love this pattern. You don't necessarily have to make a rug out of it. You can do a round tablecloth with it by using a thinner yarn. Now, if you're using cotton for the tablecloth, my opinion is Aunt Lydia number 3. It's perfect for the round tablecloth and size that you will accomplish. Of course, if you want to go bigger, you just have to keep extending. So you see it's already turning into that spiral, right? So 2 chains, skip the 2 first ones, and on the third one you do your double crochet, next space double crochet, and 3 inside of the square space. So you're going to have a total of your 5 double crochets. Okay, so continue yours and close in with slip stitch on third place and the end. Okay, so I finished my row. We're going to start counting rows by 1. Okay, since we have 1 here, we're not going to start counting by the singles. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so going into row 6, counting by the first one here and not the singles. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Going into row 6, so we're going to do the same thing. We're going to slip stitch until the third double crochet, chain 3. Now this will be repeatedly all the way through your size desired by skipping always the first 2 double crochets and going into the third one. So you have 2, 4, 5, and 1 more, and you're always going to have 3 double crochet now inside of the square. 1, 2 on the third space. So I'm going to continue my rug until the desired that I would like it to be, remembering that you must stop your rows on the odd number. So what does that mean? That means like you go until your 23rd row, 25th row, 27th row. Okay, so make sure that you stop on the odd number and not like 20, 22, 24. So you're going to do your 19, your 21, your 23. Okay, I don't know how long it will take for mine. I don't know the size yet, so I'm going to continue on mine, and you could always forward ahead to see where I'm at, because this is just going to be repeatedly the same thing, the same way through the desired length that you would like to have. Either you're doing the rug or you're doing for the table cloths. So it's just a repeat of the same way all the way until the desired row length that you would like to have. So you're always going to skip the 2 first ones, chain 3, you continue on your double crochet, and you're always going to have 3 inside of the square with 2 chain separation. I'm going to continue mine until I see how many, what's the size I would like to have for that area of that little table, and then I'll come back to you on it. Okay, everyone, so I pretty much cut my thread because I won't have enough of this color to continue on my rug with the same color until the edge. The edge I was going to put a different color. So because I don't have enough of the same color, I'm just going to go ahead and do with the gold. Doesn't matter because it will match the living room just the same. I would have loved to have the same color until the edge, but I don't. So I'm just going to use up whatever threads I have. And I have row until row 15. So like I had mentioned, we want odd numbers. We don't want even numbers when you're going to do the rest of the rug. So I have row 15, and that's counting from the first one here, not the circle. So 1, 2, and you see it has the stitches 3, 4, 5 until 15. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Now we're going to cut down now on the on the double crochet. So I am going to start. This time we are not skipping two, we're only skipping the first one here. And we're starting on the second one. And I've cut my thread and made that knot to make sure that everything stays secure. And we're going to do a single with 3 chain. So that would equal a double crochet. Would come into the next one and continue on. I have a big knot there, so it's going to be a little bit tricky to try to hide this little knot, but we manage. And we're going to do the double crochets until we have one left. We don't do the last one because now we're decreasing on the double crochets. Now this gold that I'm using, because the cream was 8 ply and I don't have any more of it, so I'm using a 6 ply now with this gold, which won't make a big difference and it will look nice just the same. So this gold has a shiny spark to it. I don't know, I can't sometimes put it too close because then it's going to fog out on that app to show you. When it's too close it doesn't look, can't see it. But anyway, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, because we don't do the first one and we are not doing the last one. We're going to do our 2 chain and we're coming into the center of the square and we're doing only 1 double crochet. Again, 1, 2 chain, and we're coming into the second one here and we'll continue on with the double crochets. Gotta make sure that I grab all the threads or else it won't be funny at all. So I'm gonna grab threads apart. Try to see if I can get a more comfortable needle to work with. Oh, what am I doing? Don't know why I was giving chain stitch for nothing. So basically we're going to skip the first one and the last one. We are decreasing on the double crochet. Why am I keep doing stitch? Good God. Sometimes, you know, your mind just flies elsewhere. So we reach almost the before last one, so we're going to skip this one too. 1, 2. So basically we are decreasing on the double crochet here, but we are increasing in the squares. Okay, we skip the first double crochet and we're coming into the second, and we continue on. So continue your row. It's the same way all the way around. And I'll meet you at the end. So I've come to the end of my row. I'm going to continue to do the the two chain, and I'm going to do the next few rows the same way as we just finished doing this one. So you're going to close it up on the third space. Of course, my stitch is always extremely tight. I'm going to go in with a smaller needle just to get my stitch through. And then we're going to do the walk. I call it the walk with a slip stitch to the next, to the second one, because we always leave one out at the beginning and one out at the end. So we're going to do chain 3, and we're going to continue on. So the next few rows will be the same way. This all depends the size that you're looking for. So you can always advance the video to see. I want more or less approximate 83 centimeters for my rug, because it's small, right? It's a small little table. So I'm not making a huge rug for the living room, just enough to cover the bottom of the coffee table in the center. So you're going to continue the same way. You're going to do, and you're going to always skip the first one, and you're always going to skip the last one. You're going to come in here now, do your 2 chain. So I'll show you, because the rest of the other rows will be the same. I don't know how many rows I'm going to go, but you could always check up ahead on the video and see where I'm at. And it's always good to look at the video ahead before doing anything anyway, on anybody's videos for that matter. So we skip the last one, we do 2 chain, we're coming into the center. We're increasing, like I said, on the squares and decreasing on the double crochets. 2 chain separation, we're going into the next square. So we started with 1 square, we have 2 square, now we're going to have 3 square, and that's how it's going to go for the next few rows. Skip the first double crochet and go into the second, and then proceed from there and leave the last double crochet. We don't do also. Okay, so here you have 1 square, 2 square, 3 square, and so on. So I'm going to do a few more rows, and then I'll come back to you again. Okay, you guys, so I'm basically where we have 3 left, because the next row is only going to be 1 left, right? We don't do the first and we don't do the last, but we do need to extend 1 more square here. So right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 squares, and this row would be 7, but I'm going to extend another one, so we're going to have 8. I need to have equal amount of squares in order for the edge to have the proper stitches, amount of stitches. Now you could do it like this, and even if you're going bigger, it would be the same thing. You would just add on the odd row. So that means row 5, row 7, row 9. You would have to make that adjustment in the middle here. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That means on the third one, which is right in the center, I'm going to make that adjustment of adding another square. Okay, so 2 chain. This is where I have only 3. So I would do my square, so my first square, 2 chain. I would do my second square, 2 chain. Like I said, you can go bigger on this. You can add it from the middle. You can add from actually more here than anything, because then you need to start cutting down with these ones here. Okay, so now we are 1, 2, 3. So we're going to do 2 chain, and we're going to come back on the same space and create another little blockage here. Okay, so 2 chain and create your squares again. Now, if your pattern starts crumpling up too much here on the edges, that means your stitch is overly tight. Try to loosen up where you're doing your squares. Best thing is to use a thicker needle, like I am on this one. Even though this is a size 6 that I used for the 8 ply, I'm using the same one for the 6 ply just to make sure that it's loose enough. Since it's a thinner thread, I don't want it to crumple up, so I want it to be more or less the same stretch as the size 8 ply. Okay, so basically you would skip the first one, continue your double crochet, and we don't do the last one. So you do your 2 chain, you make your square, and on your middle square, depending if you're doing this on 5 squares, 7 squares, 9 squares, you always have to add the extra one here in the center just to have an even square, because we don't need on row. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. I don't need it to be added on the rows. I don't want it to be bigger, but I need it to be added on the squares so it can give me the right amount to finishing the edges. So basically, so we had 6. We added the 2 here on the center, which is on the third square, 1, 2, and 3. So basically we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So we have 8 now, okay? And of course we have one more row, which will be normal squares. And we're going to have one left to do of the middle one here, okay? So continue yours and I'll continue mine, and I'll meet you at the end. Okay, so I'm on, I guess, the last row of these double crochets, as you can see. So I did my chain 4, and I'm doing 2 more for 5. So chain 5, that's just to give me the 2 chain separation to make my square here, okay? And we're going to do this all the way around. Let me just check something here. Yes, okay, so chain 2 again, and we're just going to make squares all the way around, so nothing to it, very simple. 2 chain separation, and as you can see where we did the adaptment, we're doing the square, and again. Okay, so do yours, I'll do mine, and I'll meet you at the end. So after this row, we're starting to create the edge of the rug. Okay, so now we're going to row 23, which we have that one only. And we're going to do chain 3. Inside of the square, we're going to do 2 double crochet. 1 and 2. On top of the double crochet from the previous row, we're going to do 1 double crochet. Inside of the square, we're doing 2 double crochets. So this row is going to be basically the same way all the way around. So 2 inside of the square and 1 on top of the double crochet. So continue yours and I'll meet you at the end. Okay, you guys, so we finished row 23, I believe. Let me just confirm that. Okay, so 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Yep, we're going into row 24. Now, if you wanted to stop there, you could have just to finish with the edge like this, okay? You can stop there and you get to the amount of size you would like. I wanted to have 83 centimeters, but I think I'm going to have more, which is fine. It's okay. I'd rather have more than be short on my rug. Okay, so I closed in with slip stitch. I'm going in with 3 chain. Next space, double crochet. Next space, double crochet. Next space, double crochet. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I need 7. Oops. So this is 5, 6, and 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2 chain. I'm going to skip 2 space. 1, 2. On the third one, I'm creating the groups of 7 double crochet again. Let me just check here a minute. So yes, we skip 2 space, and we're going to continue to create our groups. Now it comes to the end of this. You don't have the right amount for whatever reason to have enough to create your 7 groups. That means by skipping the 2 here, and it's, you know, you're just right on it. There's no space to skip. Don't stress over it. Just add one of these double crochets into one of these, so it comes out to the same thing. 2, 4, 6, and 1 more. So basically what I'm trying to tell you is, let's say you need to create another group or you need to close it off, but here's your group and you don't have the 2 space. Just take it down, let's say, and you can create on the same space. You can put 2 together, okay, and then you can skip your space, okay. So we'll see if mine matches up. If it does, fine. If not, I will have to do the same thing by adding 2 together on the same space. 2, 4, 6, 1 more, 7, 2, 4, 6, 7, and then 2 chain, and then skip 1, 2 on the third space, and then create your groups again. So we're almost at the end. So I'll meet you at the end. Okay, you guys, so I've come almost to the end, and as you can see, so here's my 2 that I need to skip. But if I count here my group, I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so I need 7. And I'm going to add 2 more onto here so I can have an even number of groups of 7 double crochets. So now I have 4, 5, and I'm going to do another one here, 6, so 2, 4, 6, and 1 more on the next space. So basically I created my group of 7. I'm going to do my 2 chain, and I'm going to lock it up on third space up here, and I'll have my groups just the same and skipping 2, so I'll be okay. So we're going to glance over to the next double crochet. We're going to do chain 3, next space. So now we're cutting down. We are decreasing on the double crochets. We're not going to do the first one nor the last one. So now we're supposed to have a total of 5, 2, 4, and 5. 2 chain separation. Inside of the square, we're doing a double crochet, 2 chain, and 1 more double crochet inside of the same square. 2 chain, skip the first double crochet, go into the second. This row, which is row 25, I believe. I better count to make sure, because sometimes I'm just terrible on counting rows. I'll let you know in a second. So we're going to do our 5 double crochets. 2, 4, 5. Okay, so 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Yep, row 25. Again, 2 chain. We're going to come in the center of the square. We're going to do a double crochet. We're going to do chain 2 again in the same space of the square. We're going to do another double crochet. So you have like a V, 2 chain separation. I'm going to skip the first double crochet, go into the second, and continue on doing our groups of 5 now. Okay, so we're going to do it this way, all the way around, the same way, like that. I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone, so I pretty much finished row 25 with a slip stitch, and I'm walking. I call it the walk to the next double crochet, chain 3. Now we're going to do 3 double crochet here. Okay. We're going to do 1 chain. We're going to come right on top of where we have that V and do a double crochet and 1 inside, 2 chain, 1 inside of the V again, and 1 on top of the double crochet, like that. 1 chain. We're skipping the first one as we usually do, and we're going to do 3 double crochets, 1 per space. So this row is going to be this way, all the way around. Chain 1 again. We're going to come into the first double crochet on the V, 1 inside, and 2 chain, 1 double crochet inside of the V again, and 1 on top of the double crochet. So we have 1 more row after this, and then we're done. Pretty much done with the rug. Now obviously if I wanted to be smaller, I would have had to cut down from the cream color in order to keep going with my edge, but I guess I didn't really calculate properly to have it cut down, but no issues. I'll take the size that it is, it's fine. Okay, so this is pretty much what it's going to be. And I'll meet you at the end. Okay, you guys, so I finished doing row 26. I'm on my last row, row 27. For me, for some of you that are creating it bigger, will be different number. So I'm going to go right into the center, the middle double crochet, but not with a slip stitch. I'm doing a single. Okay. And then right after, on the first double crochet here, as you can see, the first double crochet, I'm going to do a double crochet here, like that. I'm going to do 3 chain. We're doing the picot, so I'm going to do my first picot here. We're going to have a total of 5 picots. I'm going to go into my second double crochet, and I'm doing another picot. Now, remembering that if you're using extremely like size 10 and Liddy, you could make a doily out of this, which is gorgeous also. So I'm going inside of the V, and I'm doing double crochet. So now we have 2 picots here, and we're doing chain 3, we're doing another picot, and closing it with single. I'm going to come back into the V and do another double crochet. So we're going to have 2 double crochets inside of the V, and we're going to do the picot, close it with single. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going in on top of the first double crochet here, double crochet, 3 chain for the picot, and this is going to be the last row of this, so you're going to repeat the same thing all the way around. I'm coming into the last double crochet here and doing the double crochet. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're not doing no more picot at this point. We're just coming directly into the middle here of the double crochets, and we're closing it in here with a single. So you're going to have this effect. It's going to give you a nice closed area. Okay, just pull my thread here. I will have the reveal shots pictures at the end, and a little video with it on the floor and also with the table on top of it, so you can have an idea what it looks like, remembering that you can use whatever colors you'd like. If I had enough thread, I would have went all the way to where we did all the double crochets here, and this end here would have been whatever color, you know, preferably that you would want. So I'm going to go directly into the first double crochet again, close it in with double crochet, chain 3. So always stay tuned for that little video at the end. Next space, double crochet, and again chain 3. And I thank you so much, everybody, for being part of this journey with me, going into the middle, and for your beautiful comments. Thank you so much. Please don't forget to give a thumbs up on the video. It helps to circulate the video. And for the newcomers, I hope that you enjoy this tutorial, and you're going to be part of this family by joining in on subscribing. Again, back into the center. So we did the picot. We're doing another double crochet. So it's 2 double crochets in the center, and 1, 2, and 3. And also, if you are subscribed, don't forget to hit that bell notification to be notified of my new uploads. I really appreciate every single one of you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I hope that everybody's staying safe with this crazy pandemic, that it just doesn't seem to go away. Okay, so we have the 5 picots, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now when you do your last double crochet, you go directly into the center here, and you close it in with a single. So this is pretty much what it looks like, people. It always looks better when you lay it out on top of something more clear. But you will see it once I lay it on the ground and have the reveal shots with a little video. So any questions, please feel free to email me or do it on the comment section below. And I thank you once again, everyone. Until the next time, thank you so much, and much hugs. Please stay safe. Bye-bye, everyone.